Early Edition with Kate Hawkesby on News Talk ZB.
So within the next hour, Joe Biden Jr. will become the 46th president of the United States. Make no mistake, he will be stamping his mark on the office straight away. So what is on the immediate agenda? Democratic pollster and strategist Bernard Whitman is back with us. Thank you very much for being with us, Bernard. Day one, what are you expecting right away from Biden?
Well, I think extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and I think that he has outlined 4 crises he's going to address immediately, and I'd add 1 to the list. The 4 are the COVID crisis, economic crisis, racial injustice, and climate change. And above all of that, I put the number 1 crisis to unify the country. And I suspect that beginning at 12:01, in his first minute in office, he's going to start tackling that first and most important one, that is reaching out to all segments of the American people in an effort to actually bring us together, something that has not only been sorely lacking for the last 4 years, but has actually been an effort to tear us apart. Donald Trump talked about American carnage 4 years ago today. We've seen his American carnage. That, in fact, does end today. And then I think in the following minutes, you're going to have him go through very clear and very specific plans to address the other 4 crises. And by day's end, I suspect he will have taken 15 executive actions, which is a stark contrast. His last 4 predecessors have combined taken 2 actions on the first day. So there's going to be actions to not just reverse the damage that Trump has caused, but also to move the country forward and change the course of this pandemic.
He's got a huge task ahead of him, doesn't he? I mean, and you mentioned the pandemic, COVID, of course, top of the priorities. What are you expecting on that front in terms of his leadership? I mean, what sort of difference can he make with COVID straight away?
Well, I think straight away he can make an enormous difference, because he's going to have a national vaccine distribution strategy, number 1, that has been left to the states. We're a federal system and everybody has sort of been left on their own. That's going to end today. He's going to issue what he's calling a 100-day mask challenge, where he's challenging all Americans to wear masks for the next 100 days and requiring masks to be worn on all federal properties across the country. That's number 1. Number 2, with respect to the economy, he's going to begin pushing through this $1.9 trillion economic recovery bill, which you've heard a lot about, including $1,400 in additional aid to most American taxpayers. On climate change, he's going to move to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. He is going to rescind a Keystone pipeline permit, which has been very, very controversial in the United States. We're going to rejoin the World Health Organization. We're going to extend eviction restrictions. We're going to extend student loan relief. And we're going to make science first in policy, not last in policy. There's so many other things to talk about. I mean, he's going to reverse Trump's travel ban on Muslim countries. He is going to announce in the first day in office a comprehensive immigration plan to provide, over the course of 8 years, a plan, a path for citizenship for the 11 million undocumented immigrants living here in the United States. So, I mean, from top to bottom, there's so much stuff, and I can go on and on.
Gosh, so it's all on. Bernard, appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much. Bernard Whitman, Democratic pollster and strategist.